like that. Hi, everybody. My name is Sean Bouchard. This is a super secret special bonus edition of Play by Play. I'm going to be playing Mass Effect again for a little bit more than half an hour today. And then I actually have to leave, so it's not going to be super long. But let's resume. Let's see where we were when we laughed. All the time laughing. When we last left our shepherd. Okay, full of metagel. I got 4 metagel. Good to know. This is an as yet empty space.
Glad to see you're okay. Commander, I'm glad to see you're okay. Losing Jenkins was hard on the crew, and I'm glad we didn't lose you too.
Okay. Jenkins is gonna be missed, I bet.
Things were pretty rough down there.
Yeah, you never get used to seeing dead civilians. It doesn't seem right somehow. But at least you stopped Saren from wiping out the whole colony.
I couldn't have done it without you.
We're Marines.
I couldn't have done it without you, Caden.
And I'm just sorry that we lost Jenkins.
If you hadn't been hanging back, messing around the whole time, I don't know what would have happened.
I wish I could have done something to save him.
I was there. You did everything right. It was just bad luck. It's been a hell of a shakedown, Cruz. Our first mission ends with one Spectre killing another. The Citadel Council's not going to be happy about that. Probably use it to lever more concessions out of the Alliance.
Borg Leader says that they recently read the Mass Effect books and recommend at least the first 3 of them. I am super curious about that. I haven't read any of the Mass Effect books. I assume they're not novelizations. I assume they're like extensions on the lore of the game. But I'm curious. I don't actually know anything about them. Backstory of the Elusive Man. I don't know that I find that the most interesting part of the world, but if they're well written. All right. We gotta talk to Caden. We gotta at least talk a little bit to Caden. We gotta talk to some people.
We're unrestricted, but we sure don't go undocumented. May as well get a
I feel like this is the most boring part of a potential stream. I mean, I guess like let's listen. Let's listen to what they say, and we can actually figure out like what the hell's going on. I'm here because of my family. I forget. I'm a spacer. Do I have a Yeah, my parents had a military background. That's exactly right. And my dialogue options reflect that, right? I can either deflect and say I'm in it for personal reasons, or deflect and say it's not important right now, or sort of agree with that assessment. I'm assuming if I had taken a different background, then I would have different, like totally different kinds of options.
I was a regular Navy brat. I got a little more noteworthy than the folks expected.
Oh, that's right, the Blitz. I imagine that bought you any post in the fleet. Word is we're heading for the Citadel, ma'am. Can you, tell me why?
The captain hopes the ambassador can get an audience with the council. Tell them what Saren's been up to.
Makes sense. They'd probably like to know he's not working for them anymore. Whatever happens, we'll be ready, Commander.
I haven't played Beginner's Guide yet, but I do want to play it at some point. But I don't know that I'll play it on stream. We'll see.
Yes, Commander?
Chakwas is pretty cool.
Need?
But I don't really want to talk to you.
I should go.
Fine.
Goodbye, Commander.
I'm glad you're okay,
Ashley.
Commander. The crew could use some good news after what happened to Jenkins.
What? How do you even know what happened to Jenkins? You weren't there. You're not part of the crew.
Jenkins was a valuable part of this crew.
Part of me feels guilty over what happened. If Jenkins was still alive, I might not be here.
She's using his name in a very familiar way. It's funny. I mean, I could easily have forgotten the order in which things happen because Jenkins is around for so brief a time and Ashley comes on board so quickly that like, in my memory, they could overlap. But they didn't. Like, we just played through that. And Jenkins was, like, some rando dude who gets killed before he has a line of dialogue. And then we find Ashley. And so it's weird that... It's weird how they're using Jenkins to sort of try to create a sense of loss and sympathy and hardship without establishing who Jenkins was in any way. And it's weird how that bleeds over to Ashley's character, who literally doesn't know who he is, maintaining exactly the same sort of weirdly familiar tone.
When your number comes up, it's over. His did.
I don't think it's as simple as that, sir.
Things were pretty rough down there. Are you okay?
I've seen friends die before. Comes with being a Marine. But to see my whole unit wiped out, and you never get used to seeing dead civilians. But things would have been a lot worse if you hadn't shown up.
How do I...
We couldn't have done it without you, Williams.
Thanks, Commander. I have to admit, I was a little worried about being assigned to the Normandy. It's nice when someone makes you feel welcome.
That was something we explicitly did, right? I'm pretty sure we talked to... whatever. We talked to somebody.
I think you're gonna fit in here just fine, Williams.
Thanks, Commander.
See, I got some Paragon points for that. Awesome. Okay, I'm not gonna wander around too much. I just wanna check out my ship. Is that... No, that's not a doppelganger. She just has similar hair. Okay. I don't know that I can even talk about... This goes down. I don't know that I can even talk about the architectural design of the Normandy because I'm so familiar with it at this point. I mean, not just through playing this game at least twice, but the ship stays with you for sort of, you know, the entire trilogy. So all of the games have essentially the same ship design.
I'm glad you're okay, Commander. Losing Jenkins was hard enough on the crew.
Presley is not important enough a person to have an actual like dialogue with, but I did get +10 experience for clicking on a thing, which is neat because that happens sometimes. And I'm going to talk with Joker.
Good timing, Commander. I was just about to bring us into the Citadel. See that taxpayer money at work.
Is there ever a Joker romance option? Do you get that in 3? I feel like you don't. I feel like that's never a thing.
Flagship of the Citadel fleet.
Well, size isn't everything.
Why so touchy, Joker?
I'm just saying you need firepower, too.
Look at that monster. Its main gun could rip through the barriers on any ship in the Alliance
I like
fleet.
that ship design.
Good thing it's on our side, then.
It's just like a giant
Citadel
engine.
Control, this is SSV Normandy, requesting permission to land.
Stand by for clearance, Normandy. Clearance granted. You may begin your approach. Transferring you to an Alliance operator.
Roger, Alliance Tower. Normandy out.
Normandy, this is Alliance Tower. Please proceed to Dock 422.
This is an outrage! The Council would step in if the Geth attacked a Turian colony!
The Turians don't found colonies on the borders of the Terminus systems, Ambassador.
Humanity was well aware of the risks when you went into the Traverse.
What about Saren? You can't just ignore a rogue Spectre. I demand action!
You don't get to make demands of the Council, Ambassador.
Citadel Security is investigating your charges against Saren. We will discuss the CSEC findings at the hearing, not before.
Captain Anderson, I see you brought half your crew with you.
Just the ground team from Eden Prime, in case you had any questions.
I have the mission reports. I assume they're accurate?
They are. Sounds like you convinced the Council to give us an audience.
They were not happy about it. Saren's their top agent. They don't like him being accused of treason.
It's interesting how abrasive they make Udina. And they're setting up sort of something that happens at the very end of the game. I'm gonna, I don't know how many people have not played Mass Effect. I feel like there are going to be spoilers all through this. If I have not already said this, if I haven't already spoiled, all of the Mass Effect series, I'm pretty sure that's something that I'm going to do. So, be warned, I guess? I mean, this game has been out for a long time, so if you haven't played it by now, I think that it's actually... Okay, so I'm going to talk about this for a second. I totally get spoilers. Spoilers are a thing. There is media that I consume that I want to have sort of a fresh experience of. But that can't be all media. You sort of have to pick your battles where it comes to spoilers. And so there are some things where I will say, this is an experience that is precious to me as an audience member, and so I will make an effort to avoid having the experience spoiled and to actually participate in that media as quickly as I can. And then there's other media where I have to sort of say, well, I care about this experience, but I'm going to have to approach it more critically, I guess. And that's just because I literally, as a human being, don't have the bandwidth to avoid spoilers for everything. And then sort of the second half of that, get on playing every game, watching every movie right away. So this is beyond what I feel is an appropriate amount of time. If you have not played Mass Effect and you're planning on playing Mass Effect and you don't want it spoiled for you, or even if you want to go and watch a Let's Play that is not me talking about the game, then maybe this isn't for you. But at the end of the game, you're going to have to choose between Udina and Captain, what's his name? Jesus, I can never remember that guy's name. In order to represent humanity with the council or whatever. And it comes down to this choice between a guy who is actually a politician, but who has been presented as abrasive, who the game sort of is designed for you to not like from the very beginning. I mean, he's such an asshole right here, versus your commanding officer who always supports you, who is just a good guy and who's beaten down left and right, who is on your team. The game is all about that relationship between, it's not all about that relationship, but that relationship is actually core to the game, to the story of it, you and what's his name, and how you support each other. So now, which of these two guys do you choose to represent the human race? The guy who's a really solid stand-up guy who you like, whose interests are well aligned with yours, but who is a military commander and not a diplomat, or the guy who's actually trained for this and can do it, but he's kind of an asshole. Anderson. Thank you, guys. So it's, I mean, it's just like, it's striking to me how they set him up from the very first beat to be an asshole.
Saren's a threat
dangerous.
to every human colony out there. He needs to be stopped. The Council has to listen to us.
Settle down, Commander. You've already done more than enough to jeopardize your candidacy for the Spectres. The mission on Eden Prime was a chance to prove you could get the job done. Instead, Nihilus ended up dead and the beacon was destroyed.
That's Saren's fault, not hers.
Then we better hope the CSEC investigation turns up evidence to support our accusations. Otherwise, the Council might use this as an excuse to keep you out of the Spectres. Come with me, Captain. I want to go over a few things before the hearing. Shepard, you and the others can meet us at the Citadel Tower, top level. I'll make sure you have...
Oh, that's not a surprise, right? We talked about joining the Spectres earlier. Yeah.
And that's why I hate politicians.
Yeah, politicians, man. They're pretty awful. Don't talk to me about politicians right now. Alright, Captain Hendrickson reported some unusual energy readings during a patrol of the Argos Rho cluster. She had particular concerns about the Hydra system, but was recalled before her team could investigate further. No patrols are scheduled for that sector. Do we want to send in a recon team? What was it? Something Rho? Am I, This is a map of where I literally am. Can I have a journal. Unusual readings. Great. Hydra system, Argos Rho. So I can save that and investigate it later. I don't need to literally write it down on a piece of paper. That's great. I like that. Okay. I'm gonna go do something first before I do anything else. Unless I get interrupted here. No.
Greetings and welcome to the Presidium.
No, that's not what I want.
My name is Avina, and I am pleased to be your virtual
We're not going to
guide
get into
throughout
virtual
this level of the
intelligence.
Citadel space station.
I don't need a guide.
We can talk about virtual
Our
intelligence
records
some other
indicate
time.
this is your first time on the Citadel.
Oh
A
my
brief
God.
orientation session is
No,
customary.
thank you.
Please allow me to do
I'm
my
good.
job.
I'm done.
I'll pass.
I should not have talked to
I
you.
apologize if you found my service unsatisfactory. Please submit any
This is
complaints
really
in
where I
writing
wanted
to the
to go.
Citadel.
I think that's where I want to go. But it looks like this is one of those transit systems where you're only allowed to go places that you have been before. Which... No, that's fine. Can I just... I feel like that's not a common design in, like, urban planning. I don't know what part of, like, the textbook that's in. It would be interesting, though.
Questions are they?
I doubt it. We've made our reports. Now we just have to trust Ambassador Udina.
No, we don't, sir.
Everybody hates Udina. It would be interesting to devise some kind of a metro system in a city where you could only take the train to places that you had been before and checked in. That sounds awful. That sounds like there are no real benefits to that. Okay. Good, good. I'm glad that's covered. Alright, now
Look at
I
that
think
bug thing over there. What's
there's
it
a
doing?
bug
Please
thing
do
over
not
here.
disturb the keepers.
That's fine. There's a dude around here somewhere. Oh, but fuck, I don't actually remember where he is. Maybe he's in the Presidium. Should I have kept going? It looked like I was about to go into, like, the council chamber and have to give my speech. Which maybe is what I should do, and then I can come out here and explore again later. I just really want to talk to the dude who wants me to look for the keepers before I explore. Because once I start exploring, I'm gonna find keepers everywhere, and then I'm gonna forget where they are. Oh, whatever. All right, what's my current objective? Do I have one? assignments. No, I just have this. Missions. Got it. Expose Saren. Oh, I love this. Go to the tower. All right. So I could do other things, but I don't think there's anything that I can't do afterward. Pretty sure. And I'm gonna be stuck here for a little while afterwards, so let's go ahead. So, all right, one thing I wanted to talk about was there's this interesting parallel between the narrative structure of this game and of Knights of the Old Republic, which in a lot of ways I feel like
in light of the
this
recent
was...
attack on Eden Prime, many colonial investors are pulling their support for future projects. Proponents of expanded human colonization insist that Eden Prime was an isolated case. Nevertheless, colonist enrollment has dropped sharply. Many colonial proposals are on hold until backers have some reassurance that human colonies will be adequately protected.
I actually really like the elevators as a... in a lot of ways, like as a way to give you a moment where you're captive and you have to listen to that kind of background information, like what's going on in the larger world based on the things that you have done. I think that's super cool. I mean, obviously the problem with them is that on the systems that this game ran on when it came out, they took forever because they're also loading screens. And there's just not enough content for them, right? So you would get repeated content, or you'd get like these long silences. It'd be great if there was always content, because I think the content is really good. Anyway, I was talking about parallels between this and Knights of the Old Republic, which I continue to feel, although I don't remember exactly what the timeline was or how it felt at the time, but Mass Effect always felt to me like it was a spiritual successor to Knights of the Old Republic. It was sort of BioWare took that property and made a game that was successful, and successful enough that they then said sort of, okay, we can do this again without the licensed property. We can have our own IP and make another game that's like Knights of the Old Republic. One of the things that's super interesting about Knights of the Old Republic as a game is that like a third of it takes place in the first act before you become a Force user. So you're just like a regular dude for fully a third of the game. Maybe it's not, but it's something. It feels like it. It is a long time before you sort of get indoctrinated into the I guess you get indoctrinated into the Jedis. And in this game follows a very, very similar structure, right? Where you just substitute specters for Jedis, and you start off as like a regular person, and then you go through this training, and there's an early section where you become chosen, and then there's a period where you have to like prove yourself. There's like one opinionated points out my use of the word indoctrinated, which is that was not intentional, but that's ironic given the game that I'm playing. Anyway, it feels very similar, but actually the pacing of Mass Effect I like a lot better. We will spend a good amount of time.
Give me more time. Stall them.
Stall the Council? Don't be ridiculous. Your investigation is over, Garrus.
Commander Shepard, Garrus Vicarian. I was the officer in charge of the CSEC investigation into Saren.
Who was Saren? Oh no, who was that? Who was that guy you just talked to?
Who were you just talking to?
That was Executor Palin, head of Citadel Security, my boss. He'll be presenting my findings on Saren to the Council.
Sounds like you really want to bring him down.
I don't trust him. Something about him rubs me the wrong way. But he's a Spectre. Everything he touches is classified. I can't find any hard evidence.
I think the Council's ready for us, Commander.
Good luck, Shepard. Maybe they'll listen to you.
So the romance options in Mass Effect 1 are very limited, and we cannot romance Garrus. People are probably disappointed by that. We also, I know, cannot romance Joker, because the only people that we can romance are these two idiots and Liara. And that's the whole gamut for Mass Effect 1. And that was something that they really broke out. They really expanded in the subsequent games, especially 3, I think, but maybe not. Maybe I'm actually mistaken about that. Certainly in 2, the jump from 1 to 2 was quite significant. And it sounds like Joker is never a romance option, because he has sort of like a plot romance with Edie in 3. And that's where I would have imagined maybe there was a potential romance, but... Okay, where's the dude I want to talk to? Can I find him and talk to him, please? There's another rapid transit thing. No, here's a rear admiral. Oh, he just says commander. I see. We're gonna be like that. We're gonna have that kind of relationship.
The hearing's already started. Come on.
Oh shit, I'm late. I guess I should have hurried.
The Geth attack is a matter of some concern, but there is nothing to indicate Saren was involved in any way.
The investigation by Citadel security turned up no evidence to support your charge of treason.
An eyewitness saw him kill Nihilus in cold blood.
We've read the Eden Prime reports, Ambassador. The testimony of one traumatized dock worker is hardly compelling proof.
I resent these accusations. Nihilus was a fellow Spectre and a friend.
That just let you catch him off guard.
Captain Anderson, you always seem to be involved when humanity makes false charges against me. And this must be your protege, Commander Shepard, the one who let the beacon get destroyed.
The mission to Eden Prime was top secret. The only way you could know about the beacon was if you were there.
With Nihilus gone, his files passed on to me. I read the Eden Prime report.
It's a hell of a shoulder shield.
But what can you expect from a human?
Saren despises humanity. That's why he attacked Eden Prime.
Your species needs to learn its place, Shepard. You're not ready to join the Council. You're not even ready to join the Spectres.
He has no right to say that. That's not his decision.
Shepard's admission into the Spectres is not the purpose of this meeting.
This meeting has no purpose. The humans are wasting your time, Counselor, and mine.
Okay. Hi, Kelso. Yeah, what in the gosh dang heck is going on here? Indeed. So, to sum up, we were sent on a secret mission with a Turian, like an alien guy who was part of this top secret, or not top secret, like elite organization called Spectres. And our mission blew up in our faces, largely because this guy, who was also an alien, killed our alien, and then tried to blow up the planet, and killed a bunch of people in the process. And now we're basically coming back and saying, hey, what's the deal? This dude blew up our planet, and nobody believes us. It is fascinating. It was pointed out in chat. It is fascinating how they frame, like literally, cinematographically, photographically frame Saren during the sequence. He is fucking huge. And they keep putting the camera like behind him, looking down on everybody else. It's a really kind of fascinating shot. That's my microphone, baby. Do you want my microphone to pet you? Is that what you're going for? Shiro, come on. Good girl. Good girl. All right.
Saren's hiding behind his position
Let's
as a
just watch
Spectre.
this.
You need to open your eyes.
I mean, it's weird.
What we need
First of all,
is
that like his
evidence. So far, we've seen
hologram
nothing.
There is still one
way
outstanding
up
issue.
there. And
Commander
also
Shepard's vision.
that it seems to be
It may have
bigger
been
than
triggered by the
everybody else.
beacon.
Are we allowing dreams into evidence now? How can I defend my
See, like
innocence
that
against
shot.
this kind
What
of
is that
testimony?
shot?
I
Holy
agree.
shit.
Our judgment must be based on facts and evidence, not wild imaginings and reckless speculation.
Do you have anything else to add, Commander Shepard?
You've made your decision. I won't waste my breath.
The Council has found no evidence of any connection between Saren and the Geth. Ambassador, your petition to have him disbarred from the Spectres is denied.
I'm glad to see justice was served.
Here's my thing with Udina.
This meeting is adjourned.
Like, he's an asshole to me, but he also just doesn't seem like a very effective politician, right? I mean...
It was a mistake bringing you into that hearing, Captain. You and Saren have too much history. It made the Council question our motives.
I know Saren. He's working with the Geth for one reason.
Like, isn't that something that you should have thought of before you brought him in
Every
to
colony
the
we have is
meeting?
at risk. Every world we control is in danger. Even Earth isn't safe.
Like, all of the stuff that is, like, all of the stupid politics that you have to, like, master in order to be a brilliant politician, Udina doesn't seem to actually do any of them. He like pisses everybody off. He makes all of these strategic and tactical errors. Nobody listens to him. Like, it's one thing to say Anderson isn't a career politician, and so he's going to struggle with that responsibility. But I look at Udina, and he's just... I feel like he would also struggle with that, because he's struggling with it now. That's my Udina thing. Let's get into backstory. How do you know? Oh shit!
I worked with him on a mission a long
right.
time ago. Things went bad, real bad. We shouldn't talk about this here, but I know what he's like, and he has to be stopped.
Okay.
What's our next step?
As a Spectre, he's virtually untouchable. We need to find some way to expose him.
What about Garrus, that CSEC investigator? We saw him arguing with the Executor.
That's right. He was asking for more time to finish his report. Seems like he was close to finding something on Saren.
Any idea where we could find him?
Garrus is
I
fucking
have
awesome,
a contact
so...
in CSEC who can help us track Garrus down. His name is Harkin.
Oh shit,
Forget
Harkin.
it. They suspended Harkin last month, drinking on the job. I won't waste my time with that loser.
You won't have to. I don't want the Council using your past history with Saren as an excuse to ignore anything we turn up. Shepard will handle this.
Okay.
I'll take care of it.
I need to take care of some
I
business.
agree.
Captain, meet me in my office later.
Like, Anderson's great.
Harkin's
but
probably
he should
getting
not be
drunk at
handling
Chorus
this.
Den. It's a dingy little club in the lower section of the wards.
Maybe there's another way to find evidence against Saren.
You should talk to Barla Vaughn over in the financial district.
Barla
Rumor has it
Vaughn.
he's an agent for the Shadow Broker.
The Shadow Broker?
An information dealer. Buys and sells secrets to the highest bidder. I've heard Barla Vaughn's one of the top representatives. He might know something about Saren, but his information won't come cheap.
No.
I should go.
Good luck, Shepard. I'll be over in the ambassador's office if you need anything else.
Look at all the Paragon points I'm getting. I'm such a Paragon. Okay. Dude, where's the dude? I want to talk to this dude. Huh, Caden?
You sure have to climb a lot of stairs to reach the Council. Think that's supposed to be symbolic of their importance?
Huh. Let's just think about that for a moment. Huh.
That guy's up to something.
What?
Great.
Oh, no, I wasn't. Never mind.
Let me just, stand here.
Yes, is there something you want?
Why are you so interested in the Keepers?
Keepers? I've got no interest in the keep...
Don't get coy. I know what I saw.
I'm not so sure I should be talking to you about this.
We're just talking. Is there something wrong with that?
Is there something wrong with just talking?
I guess it wouldn't hurt to tell you. I'm using a small scanner to gather readings.
I'm going to take the quest. I don't know if I'll finish it.
Results. I find it
Probably
difficult to
not.
get near the creatures.
Why were you being so secretive about it, though?
Well, technically we're not supposed to disturb the keepers.
Because I'm pretty sure if I take the quest, that
them,
allows
the
me
authorities
to
might
scan
disagree.
the keepers,
I'd
and
like
then
to
I
do it
get
more
XP
openly,
for every
but
keeper
it's
that I
not
scan.
really worth getting arrested over.
I could help you out. I'm not worried about the authorities.
I don't even know who you are.
I'm Commander Shepard with the Alliance military.
You don't know
Well,
who I
I suppose I could use the help. You'll need this.
Why does
It's
that
the
mean
scanner
anything
device I
to
developed.
you as a
Activate
Solarian?
it
I mean,
each
aren't
time
the
you see a
humans
keeper.
like...
All collected data will automatically upload to my database. I'll even
We've
send a few
got
credits your
no
way for each
standing.
unique scan.
What are you doing with the data once you've scanned it?
Trying to learn whatever I can about the keepers. We see them working everywhere, yet we know so little about them. I'm a scientist. I want to know what makes them tick.
I should get going then.
I'm a scientist.
Yes, I have much work myself. So long, and good luck with the scanning.
This is like the most bizarre quest. See, I get 20 XP for every time I do that. It is like a super bizarre quest because it's foreshadowing shit that goes down at the climax of the game. But it's also like really exposing some of the fundamental idiosyncrasies of the plot. Like, basically what's happening here is humanity is entering this thing late. There are all of these aliens who like have this whole galactic civilization. It's already established, and now we're coming to the party and we're like, we want to be a part of this, and so a lot of this game is about like the negotiation for humanity as these brash upstarts who just sort of demand a level of participation that they haven't earned compared to everybody else. But everybody else, like, they discovered space travel, and they started using this pre-existing network of gates that let them travel around the galaxy. And they found, like, a great big space station at the middle of it, and they moved in, and the space station has always been like, it's really super old and abandoned, and it's got these like sort of intelligent life forms that maintain it, and they don't do any archaeology, and they don't do any like biological research to figure out, like, to learn anything about it. They just sort of like move into this space station and start using it, and I guess like refuse to let anybody do any research into it. It's really super weird, and there may be a mind control sort of element to that to sort of try to justify it in world, but it doesn't super work for me, because even if you can sort of justify that the council has all been brainwashed into not permitting people to investigate the Citadel in any way, wouldn't that lead to a lot of questions from like literally everybody else in the galaxy? And I'm pretty sure that not everybody in the galaxy is brainwashed. So I don't know. That's, I think I gotta stop here. Okay. But that was fun. We met Counselor Udina. We broke into his computer and learned some stuff. We had a showdown with Saren. We established that Shepard is the most well-respected soldier in a civilization that gets zero respect amongst all of the space aliens, which is an interesting position to be in. Like, we get to represent sort of the underdog, but we get to be unbelievably badass while we do it. That's actually so. Okay, real quick. There's a conference going on today called Practice, hashtag Practice 15 on Twitter, and a lot of the conversation that I've been seeing go back and forth is about the way that games are. There's a lot of like postmortem on games and looking at sort of how games are designed and how they were built, and there's been a lot of discussion about this idea of power fantasy and games as fun, and the sort of that as a fundamental assumption in the design of games, and the fact that, you know, there's a lot enjoyment is a much broader emotional range than just fun, and there are a lot of potential enjoyable experiences that are not fun, and so restricting games in any way, in any kind of like classification or the way that just having a paradigm of games as fun is really restrictive to the design process. Talking about power fantasies, I mean, this game, first of all, you get to be like literally the most badass soldier in the entire world, and also it's a future world, so you get to be like a space soldier, and you still get to sort of narratively fill the archetype of the underdog. So it's an underdog story where you get to embody like the best soldier ever. That's totally fucking insane. I did not ever think about how gymnastic that is. And I personally think that the power fantasy is not necessarily the best way to approach games, but certainly for AAA games, it has a place. Certainly that's what they were trying to do with Mass Effect. And so the fact that they were able to do both of those things simultaneously is pretty fucking cool, actually. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming at a minute's notice and hanging out with me. And, you know, this is fun. I'll try to do this again when I have a chance. Otherwise, I will see you on Thursday for some more Ori and the Blind Forest, and I think we're getting closer and closer to wrapping that up. Cool. Have a good Saturday.